Welcome to the notes about law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. Basically, scientists found in the early days that they would burn things and the mass would change. So let's say you have some pieces of wood and you light them on fire, and the mass would change. Now, honestly, most people probably think the mass is going to go down because they see gases and things coming off of this wood. But oftentimes what they would find is that the mass actually went up. So the mass would increase. And the question was, where was this mass coming from? Can you actually create mass out of nothing? And the answer is no, you can't. What was happening is oxygen atoms from the air were reacting with the wood during the burning process and attaching to the wood and becoming a new substance that you know as ash. So the wood was adding oxygen to it, and you were finding ash afterwards. So you added some mass in the form of oxygen from the air. This happens every time you burn something. Oxygen adds to whatever it is that you're burning. Sometimes the mass is going to seem like it's going down because you'll have some gas or the ash will leave the fire and the mass will change that way. But even in this case, if the mass goes down, you know that it goes down because the mass left into the air. Let's take another situation. Let's say we have a beaker here and we put some Alka-Seltzer tabs into water. Well, you watch this video, you know that there's going to be some bubbling, right? Little bubbles appear, and some gas actually leaves the beaker. So you find that the mass decreases. Did you destroy the mass? No, you saw the mass leave in the form of a gas because of the bubbling that was occurring. So in this case, the bubbling and the gas that's leaving is actually carbon dioxide. And that carbon dioxide goes out into the air and adds to whatever's in the air. So the mass is not being destroyed. It is in fact just being released into the atmosphere. So we call this the law of conservation of mass because sometimes we call it the law of conservation of matter. It's the same law. We're conserving matter in the form of mass. We call it this because the law states that matter cannot be created or destroyed. Matter, however, can be rearranged into new different substances. So we can take mass and move it around, we can break it apart, we can combine it together, but we can't create it or destroy it. So the matter in the universe is pretty constant. Now there is one violation of this, and that would be nuclear situations. But we will not be doing anything nuclear in this class for quite some time. So for right now, in chemistry, you can assume that all changes that are happening are chemical changes and that mass will not be created or destroyed. It can only be moved or rearranged into a different area. Thank you.